What is up, tadpoles, and welcome to week 3 of the APDL. This week we're facing up against the Detroit Dracozalts, coached by Max Watts 81, and his team consists of Fletchinder, Gyarados, Hitmonlee, Mudsdale, Ninetales, Pikachu, Porygon 2, Purloin, Regieleki, Turtonator, and Gmax Venusaur. Now he's got a pretty interesting team with some Sun and some other stuff, but yeah. So let's go through the strengths of it. Obviously he has Sun with Gmax Venusaur and Ninetales, and that's pretty dangerous, but I can work around that because I do have Colossal, and Colossal does outspeed Venusaur even in Sun when I get set up with Steam Engine. Speed Control, he has Fletchinder with Tailwind, and with Gale Wings it's basically Prankster Tailwind when he's at full HP, but I can stop that with a Fake Out if I need to. And then we got Porygon 2, obviously with Speed Control on the opposite side of the spectrum with Trick Room. Then he also has good support with like Regieleki screens. Purloin has Fake Tears and Fake Out and Taunt, and what else is it? It gets a bunch of other moves, and it's usually run with a Sash because it's just so frail. And then we also have Hitmonlee with Unburden and Fake Out, but he doesn't really have anything to proc his Unburden unless he's running like normal Gem Fake Out, which I actually advise somebody to run last week. And then he also has Pikachu with Lightning Rod for his Gyarados. So yeah, he's got good support options, he's got Sun, and he's got pretty good speed control. So let's look at the matchup. First of all, I think Colossal has a phenomenal matchup here, but I have to be wary of his Mudsdale and his Gyarados, because those things can for sure one-shot me with super effective moves, because obviously Colossal is 4 times weak to ground and 4 times weak to water. So my plan is to Aqua Jet from Azumarill into Colossal, and yeah, then we got Togekiss. Togekiss is a pretty okay matchup here. I ended up giving it the Wakan Berry just to mitigate electric type damage from Regieleki. He might bring Spexaleki, but I doubt it. And then obviously I want Dusclops here just to like prevent Trick Room. It's also very bulky and it can Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp, Ally Switch, you know what it is. I'm not using Ally Switch, don't worry. Then we got I think he might bring Gyarados. Fletchinder could come. Porygon and Purloin I think are options that could come. And then we got the bad matchup. I didn't want to bring Blossom or Virizion here because of all the fire types. Same thing with Sneasel. Plus he has no redirection, so I can just Aqua Jet freely into Colossal. Now, Emolga here looks good because it's pretty fast, and it can also lower stats with Charm and Eerie Impulse. But I decided to bring Galvantula because Galvantula is not weak to ground, and it's got 91% accurate Thunders, and it's got Struggle Bug for that lowering special attack. Kangaskhan looks okay here on paper, but I decided not to bring it in the end because he has so many Fake Out Mons on his side. He's got Purloin, he's got Pikachu, and he's got Hitmonlee, which all have Fake Out, and that's really annoying. So I ended up bringing Guzzlord in the back, which could be a late Dynamax option to just sweep. We're going physical Guzzlord this week, even though he does have Intimidate Gyarados. So yeah, let's go to the team builder. Alright, so now we have the team. First up we got Colossal, and this is Wolfie Glick Spread, which allows us to outspeed Venusaur and Sun with Protect, Heat Wave, Meteor Beam, and Solar Beam with the weakness policy. I was thinking maybe running Max Ground instead of Max Grass, but I decided I want Max Grass in case he does bring Mudsdale or something like that, just for that coverage. Next up we got Azumarill with the Assault Vest. The plan is to lead these two and Aqua Jet into Colossal or Dynamax Azumarill right off the bat, depending on what he leads. And we got Liquidation, Play Rough, Aqua Jet, and Ice Punch. Ice Punch is here for Venusaur. The only Mon actually that resists Ice on his team is Ninetales, and even so it won't be taking it well because Azumarill hits on the physical side, and Ninetales' physical defense is really, really bad. With the Assault Vest, it allows us to survive a Max Overgrowth or Max Vine Lash from Venusaur, so shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. And we have Ice Punch, so that'll be good. Next up we got Togekiss with the Wakan Berry, which halves the damage from super effective electric type attacks from Regieleki. And we got a max HP, max special attack spread with Super Luck, Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Follow Me, and Protect. This is a standard set that pretty standard, I don't know. I'm not running any speed because I could use this as a potential Dynamax option in the late game, I don't know. Next up we got Galvantula. Galvantula here with the Focus Sash again with Protect, Struggle Bug, Electro Web, and Volt Switch. This will just be an annoying attacker This speed creeps his team, and then we put maximum special attack, and then the rest into defense. With the focus dash allows us to live one hit that would have KO'd us when we are at full health. So yeah. Next up we got Dusclops, and Frisk will be really handy in this matchup. With Trick Room, Nightshade, Plane Split, and Bulldoze in case we do want to trigger our weakness policy in Trick Room. So we can do that. This is just standard set. And yeah, we got 0 speed on it, obviously. It'll be the slowest thing on the field. Because I think its only Trick Room is really Mudsdale. Yeah, he does have Porygon too, and he does have Turtonator. But other than that, Mudsdale, Porygon 2, and Turtonator is really his Trick Room. And Dusclops underspeeds both. So yeah, and then finally we got Guzzlord with the Life Orb, and we got Max HP, Max Attack for defense. We got Rock Slide, Dragon Claw, High Horsepower, and Crunch. Just good all around physical attacker. Pretty bulky and really slow in Trick Room. I don't think he'll bring Turtonator, so if we do set up Trick Room, Guzzlord can sweep through his team pretty easily. Yeah. The only thing that would be annoying will be Stamina Mudsdale. So I'll see you guys on the battlefield. Alright, and we're back, and somehow my audio got messed up, so my microphone is muted this whole time. And stupid of me, I put the interview on this file also, so no interview this week, I'm sorry guys. So I just wanted to show you here that I switched Crunch for Protect, because I don't really need Crunch in this matchup. He challenges me, and I accept. And I'm pretty nervous, so for that, I show you Sock of the Day. We got Sloths, and yeah, let's get into it. So, I actually predicted everything that he brought except for the Ninetales. I don't know why he didn't bring Ninetales in this matchup. I guess he didn't like it because of Azumarill and Guzzlord. I don't know. But I was preparing for like Specs Ninetales, which is like the worst case scenario. But he brought Porygon 2 instead. So I figured I'll go Colossal this first game, and I'll see what he does. And I bring Togekiss and Guzzlord in the back because it's a late Dynamax option if I need to. And yeah, it basically beats his whole team if Azumarill Colossal, because I could Dynamax either Azumarill or Colossal. Now his team is very scary because either Mudsdale, Gyarados, or Venusaur can Dynamax, and they both do like stupid amounts of damage. So yeah, he has a pretty scary team. So he leads off with Purloin and Venusaur, and me being the stupid person I am, I just Aqua Jet into Colossal and Max Flare into the Venusaur. Now, I totally forgot that Purloin gets Fake Out, so I didn't even consider that as an option. And honestly, I should have been running Sap Sipper in this matchup. If my opponent has a Grass type, I gotta remember to run Sap Sipper, because Sap Sipper would have really helped me in this matchup, as you will see in a moment. So I do go for the Max Flare into Venusaur, thinking that I'm getting the Aqua Jet off. I'm like super confident. I'm like, yes, this is gonna happen. I'm just gonna sweep him with Colossal. See, Dynamax Venusaur, I'm like, this is great. I could just take him out right now, right here, right now. He goes for a Fake Out into Azumarill, and I get flinch, obviously. And G-Max Vine Lash doesn't take me out. I'm like, okay, fine. See how much Max Flare does. Does about 75%. And then the Vine Lash takes me out, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm in a bad spot now. So I automatically go for Togekiss, and he can't go for Max Quake here. So I go for a Follow Me, which is pretty safe. And then I go for a Volcalith into Venusaur. So I'm like, maybe I should have gone for Volcalith into Purloin, as he does Max Guard, and then he Fake Tears. And that's really bad. I should have taken out the Purloin right there, because if I did Rocks and he did Max Quake, then, or Max Poison even, he wouldn't have taken out my Togekiss, and I would have taken out one of his Mons. So I should have Volcalith into the Purloin slot and just automatically taken it out. Now I'm thinking, what do I do here? Because I am at minus SPDF, and this is pretty bad. So, and I need to get Volcalith off for that chip damage, because it's really important in this matchup of pivoting. So I do go for the Volcalith into Venusaur. I switch into whatchamacallit, Guzzlord for the Togekiss slot. He does max ooze. It does about 30%. I do not take out Venusaur with the Volcalith, but I do take him out with the Volcalith chip damage. So then I lose my Dynamax, he loses his, and I have a -1 Guzzlord in, yeah. And I'm like, -1 Guzzlord is really not good. So should I switch out? Should I not? And what do I do with Colossal in this situation? Because he's very slow. He's probably the slowest Mon on the field. Right now, yeah. Actually, I think he is the slowest Mon on the field. Though I have some speed on my Colossal, but 0 speed on my Guzzlord. So probably Guzzlord is the slowest. Anyway, he fakes out my Colossal. I probably should have protected right there. just in case. He does Ice Fang into my Togekiss, and I take a bunch of damage. And then the Vine Lash is happening, and the Vocal is happening. If we were online, like in Sword and Shield, actually, like not on Showdown, it would have taken so long, and the turns would have been like stupid slow. Probably would have gotten like a 5-minute warning from the timer by the end of the match. So we got Follow Me, and then we got a Solar Beam into Purloin, because I'm gonna sag my Togekiss here and just get as much damage as possible onto the Purloin slot. Just take it out, and because it's really being annoying. And we'll see what he wants to do here. Now he does switch into Mudsdale, and for some reason he protects here, I don't know, but I get a free Solar Beam into Mudsdale. Super effective, and it does about 30%, which I'm very happy with. And then the Volcalith takes Chip, and there are no more Vine Lash. So I'm going to sack my Togekiss here, so I go for Follow Me. I'm like, he can only take out one of my Mons, I guess. So, or two. So I'm trying to figure out how do I do the most chip damage. So I go for a Follow Me and a Heat Wave, because that's my only move that works in one turn. And it's resisted by Gyarados, which is really bad. So he does Ice Fang into Togekiss. I was thinking maybe I could have protected there, but then I was like, no, but then he could just freely target Colossal, so I don't want him to do that. And then what's very funny here is the Volcalith actually takes out both of his Pokemon, and I'm like, oh shoot, wait, what now? And then I realized that I have Guzzlord in the back, and he only has Purloin, so I'm like, okay, fine, I won game one. This is a hard matchup for me, because he has so many Dynamax options, and he could just out-pivot me and Dynamax when he has a free turn. Yeah, so I protect, he fakes out, that's fine, and then I Dragon Claw because it's 100% accurate, and I don't want to miss. But I find out later, actually, that his Purloin only has Fake Out as an attacking move. So yeah. So we win game one by the skin of our teeth, and I'm pretty confident in Guzzlord at this point, because Guzzlord did pretty well in this matchup, and he survived a bunch of attacks. So I go on to game two, and I'm thinking maybe I should lead Guzzlord, because Guzzlord has Max Rockfall, Max Quake, and Max Dragon to lower attack. So I could lower Gyarados' or Mudsdale's attack. I could also Max Rockfall to get weather control and do super effective damage to Gyarados. And I can Max Quake to get Spadef boosts to protect me on the special side. And I'm pretty bulky, so I don't know. So I do lead off with Togekiss, and then I'm thinking, do I go Cold? Do I go... What do I do? So I do go Togekiss, Guzzlord, and then I'm like, okay, who do I want in the back? Because Gyarados will be a problem. So I decide to bring Galvantula and Azumarill. So he does lead off with the same lead game one, and I fake him out with this game two. So I straight up go for Protect, because he'll probably try and Fake Tears Max Ooze me. So then I go for, what do I go for this turn? I don't remember. I go for a Rockfall into Purloin, thinking that it'll have Sash, and then even if it does have Sash, the Sand will break it. So he does G-Max Venusaur, and I do max my Guzzlord. Guzzlord is so huge. Oh my god, look at him. So he does go for the Fake Tears Max Ooze. It does about 25%. Yeah, 10%, not even. Yeah. And I do go for a Max Rockfall, thinking that it's going to be Sash, but it's not, and I actually get a Beast Boost, which is really good here. So I'm pretty confident right now, because even if he does Max Ooze, it's not the worst thing in the world, and I don't think it'll take me out. I don't remember if it does take me out. So now I'm back to normal attack because of Intimidate Gyarados, and Intimidate Gyarados was really annoying, but I knew he was faster than me, so he might go for like a Protect or for a Bounce, because Gyarados often does carry Bounce, and he can't max, so he'll probably do that. So I'm like, maybe I should just max Wormwind into Venusaur. So I Follow Me, max Wormwind into Venusaur to get that Gyarados' attack lowered. So he does max Ooze into Togekiss. I do survive in like 1%, but it doesn't matter because the Sand actually takes me out, which is really annoying. But I was running Wakan Berry. Maybe I should have ran Safety Goggles. I don't know. Then I would have lived and I would have been able to Follow Me again. So now the Gyarados is in the air, and I know that my Galvantula is faster, so I go for a Struggle Bug to lower Venusaur's special attack. And then I go for another Rockfall into Gyarados, and this would have for sure taken it out. So I was pretty confident where I was. I was like, I'm in a great spot here. Like, Venusaur can't really touch me because it carries Poison, Ground, and whatchamacallit, and Grass. Grass is not very effective. Poison wouldn't be doing that much, so I just Struggle Bug. It's 100% accurate. It's actually like 123% accurate because of Compound Eyes. And he gets to paralyze on me with the bounce, which is 30% chance. He Vine Lashes. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's not so bad. And then I get fully paralyzed. And I'm like so tilted right now. I'm like, oh god, okay. Okay, but I could still pull through because even though my Dynamax is over, I could still pull through. Gyarados is really annoying, but I still have Galvantula, which is 4 times super effective against Gyarados. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I have a Volt Switch. So I'm like, I should probably take out the Gyarados, but he could switch into Mudsdale. I didn't think of that so much, so I wasn't super worried. So I Volt Switch into Gyarados, and then I Dragon Claw into Venusaur, right? Yeah, I Dragon Claw into Venusaur because it's 100% accurate. I for sure want to take it out, and it can't really touch me this turn. I don't think Venusaur could be doing. So he does protect his Gyarados. I do go for a Volt Switch and a miss, and he does get Earth Power. And I get paralyzed again. I lived from the Earth Power, and then I get paralyzed again, and then the Sand takes me out. So the Sand takes out 2 of my mons right now. Okay, so now I'm in a really tough spot. So what do I do here? I decide to Electro Web because he might switch into Mudsdale, and that would be really bad. And then I Ice Punch into Venusaur, I think. Yeah, in case he does switch out into Mudsdale. And this is where Sap Sipper would come in handy for the second time. I do Electro Web. It doesn't affect Mudsdale, obviously. Lowers Venusaur's speed for that chip. Energy Balls. I do get that Ice Punch off to finally take out Venusaur, but Venusaur did like 80%. And then the Vine Lash takes me out. So yeah. Really bad situation here, and I lost game 2 because of double paralysis hacks. Well, paralysis on the bounce, and then double paralysis hacks. So I was really, really tilted game 2. And it was pretty close until I got fully paralyzed. Yeah, so I lose game 2, and I was really, really tilted at that moment. Now for game 3, I really liked the Guzzlord option, and I felt like I was pretty comfortable with bringing it again. In retrospect, I probably should have brought Colossal again, or maybe I should have gone Trick Room. But I was like, maybe I should bring Colossal in the back and then do late Dynamax option. So I do bring Guzzlord and Galvantula, because I knew Gyarados would be a problem, and then I brought Azumarill and Colossal in the back. So now I am at -1 attack from the Intimidate, and my Galvantula is faster than everything except Regieleki, but Regieleki can set up screens. So for some reason I decided to max Guzzlord here, and that was a really, really bad idea because Guzzlord only has a base 101 attack stat. So yeah, so I max Guzzlord, which is really, really stupid. I do miss the Volt Switch because he switches into Mudsdale, and he does reflect up, and that doesn't take the KO because I'm at -1 and he reflects up. Honestly, without the -1, I probably would have taken out the Regieleki. So what I should have done in this game is pivot out more and like get into a good spot with either Guzzlord or Colossal, and then max from there. But I realized now that I maxed way too early in this game, and yeah, you'll see what happens. So I'm like thinking, So I max Wormond into Regieleki to pick up the KO, and then Azumarill will switch in, replacing Galvantula, because I want to potentially set up Colossal for the end game. And I don't want Mudsdale to take a KO on my Galvantula. So I do get the max Wormond off. I lower Mudsdale's attack, and I do get that Beast Boost. So now I am at neutral attack. And +1 Spadef and -1 speed. Now Azumarill is also at -1 speed, and with the Reflect Up, Aqua Jet is not going to be doing a lot. So I'm like, this is a really bad spot. I should not have Dynamax so early. What I learned from this match is honestly that you have to take a step back sometimes and realize your stamina. Like, okay, don't get tilted. I'm doing fine, and I just got to make good plays. Also, what I noticed is that I'm very much a hyper offense player. Like, I'm not used to making such defensive switches and switching every single turn. Like, honestly, if you watched the 2019 World Championships, literally every turn, at least one of the Pokemon on the field was switched out. So I have to get used to doing that, and as I see more and more pro players play, I see that they switch basically, I don't know, every other turn they make a switch just for defensive switches, and you can look at the field and say who has offensive pressure, and then based on that you can make your Dynamax options pretty confidently. Yeah, so he takes out my Guzzlord with a max Hellstorm, which sucks. Maybe I should have max guard there. I should also liquidation into the Mudsdale, and looking back, I should for sure ice punched into it. Now I got my Galvantula up, and I'm like, oh shoot, I think I lost this game. There's no way. He's got a Dynamax Gyarados, and it's really, really scary. My Zoomerill's at -1 attack, so I switch into Colossal, because he's probably not going to target that slot. I do Volt Switch into Gyarados, but he does Sleep Powder me, and that's really, really bad. I didn't know if he was carrying it, but now I for sure know. Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I kind of just got to stall out here. So I protect with my Colossal and use Electro Web, trying to stall a little bit, seeing if I can wake up. But the hail actually broke my sash, so I protect. I'm fast asleep. He goes for a max airstream and takes me out. And at this point, I'm like, okay, the only option I have really, I protect because I knew he was going to Sleep Powder. But yeah, the only option I really have is to Aqua Jet into Colossal and maybe reverse sweep him. I'm like really thinking of what I could do here because I really screwed up by Dynamaxing so early. He who stalls out Dynamax wins the game. And he stalled out my Dynamax pretty efficiently with Reflect from Aleki. Yeah, so I Aqua Jet into my Colossal. And this is another instance where Sap Sipper would have come in real handy. And I go for a Heat Wave because, yeah, so he switches in his Mudsdale. I Aqua Jet. Look how much damage that did to my Colossal. If I was Sap Sipper, I wouldn't be huge power, and therefore my attack stat would only be base 50, and it wouldn't have done so much. But even so, the Waterfall takes me out because it's 4 times super effective from Gyarados, so yeah. And at this point, I'm like, oh shoot, I lost the game. So I Ice Punch into Mudsdale because even if he does switch in his Venusaur, it's not going to be taking this well. And behind the Reflect, yeah, whatever. I'm like, oh shoot, no, I lost this game because I Dynamax way too early. But I really learned my lesson, and looking back, I know what to do next time. Also, he flinches me with the Waterfall just to seal the deal, and then high horsepowers to take the KO. So pretty salty after that. Alright, so now I started the interview, but obviously it's muted, so you can't really hear anything. But I'm just going to explain his team. He ran Sash Venusaur, which is pretty interesting, with standard set, max attack, special attack, max speed. He ran Gyarados Life Orb with max attack, max speed, with Waterfall, Bounce, Protect the Ice Fang, which I kind of predicted. I don't know. Gyarados was on the maybe list, but I guess he'd for sure bring it. Then he brought Salvis Mudsdale with max HP. What is it? Max attack. I don't remember. He was running some Spidef. And then he was running Citrus Berry Purloin because he couldn't run Sash with Sunny Day, Charm, Fake Out, Fake Tears. And then Trick Room, Try Attack, Shadow Ball, Recover, Porygon 2. And then Screens Regieleki with Volt Switch and Electro Web. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry about the audio problems, but I'll for sure check next time. And please like, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the month. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.